100 questions about writing in 5 minutes or less. Here we go. Question 7. How do you come up with the titles for your books? Usually I have a theme in mind about the book once I've written it. I have ideas and I'll put down, as I'm working on the book, a bunch of different titles. And at the end of the draft, when I'm happy with it, when I've revised it, it goes to my agent or it goes directly to my publisher. At that point, I will send them a title for the book. However, every single book, apart from one of mine, the title has changed, and there are a number of different reasons this happened. I'm always told about it. It's always part of the process. Nothing is ever done without my knowledge. There are a number of reasons why your book title might change. These include, number 1, it could be very similar to something that already exists within your genre. Therefore, you don't want to get mixed up and someone goes to buy your book, you accidentally get someone else's. Number 2, it could be that having now read the book, your agent, your editor has other ideas for what the title can be, and they will make suggestions and then you can change it. Number 3 is some titles use tropes, especially within fantasy, and including them can sometimes help people find the book or become attached to it. And it could be quest for, king, tyranny, faith, war, all these kind of things feed into titles. Think of all the Game of Thrones titles that you've seen, song and sword and storm, lots of common words that feature quite often in titles. And there again, goes back to the first point of you might have to change it because there's something else similar to it already. The 4th reason is the title could be so weird, nobody understands it, no one knows what it's about, and therefore you want something that's least understandable and that people will try and work out what the book is actually about. Give them some clues to the story based upon the title. Number 5 is having a unique title for a book can be fantastic, it can be brilliant, because if you're searching for it anywhere online, you put it in your phone, you put it into Google and it pops up top of the list, that's what you want. If your book is called, I don't know, The King of Lies, and 5 months ago, 6 months, even 2 years ago, a book came out called The King of Lies, that's not a good look because you just want to be at the top of search rankings of people. The easier it is to find your book, the easier it is for someone to buy. So unique titles are good, but within the fantasy market, it can be difficult sometimes to have a completely unique title. So they do sometimes fall back into tropes. With all of that in mind, the way I tend to come up with titles is I think about what's unique to my story. What is the core element? What is the thing that's driving it on which everything else hangs? So one of my books was called The Coward, and it's exploring the idea of heroism and cowardice. The main character, people believe, is he a coward? Is he or not? That is one of the questions, and everything else kind of spans out from that. My most recent book is called The Judas Blossom. It's come from a line of poetry, and even if you don't know that and you hear the title, it has certain instinctive connotations. The word Judas obviously comes from Judas Iscariot and thoughts of betrayal and sacrifice and turning your back on loved ones, and there are themes in the book to do with betrayal and family and so on. So it's just creating an image in the mind of the reader. Lots of things can hook a reader, remember. There's the title, there's the cover, and then they flip the book over and read the blurb. And these are all 3 key critical things that every book publisher is trying to get right. They don't always get it right, but they're trying, and it's very, very important, because some people just walk into a bookshop, pick up a book, and the first thing they're going to be attracted by is the cover and the title. They say don't judge a book by a cover, but everybody does it, and the title is another very important factor.